Rupha Ramani, and you're watching the Cup of Dreams here on Firstpost, and it's a big face-off today. It's India versus Sri Lanka. It's happening at the Wankhede, and yes, pretty much a repeat of the 2011 ODI World Cup final, but quite an ironical repeat that because in a decade, a little more than a decade, both the teams have come a fair distance from that historic moment. I remember back then, and I was covering that 2011 World Cup final at that point, and I remember how closely contested it was. Both the teams were very strong contenders. You've had a Sri Lankan side that was full of legendary teams, players there playing during that time. So to India, it was the swan song for someone like Sachin Tendulkar at a ground that is his home venue. It's his home city. And what a farewell it was. Gary Kirsten, also a great send-off for him. A World Cup for a South African. Quite a lovely story that. So that has come a long way. That contest or that sense of rivalry between India and Sri Lanka has come a fair distance to this point where you now have a team that is such a contrast from that side. You know, a young Sri Lankan side, which isn't even close to what their ancestors achieved. So that is something that we will have to see. You know how they step up to this challenge. And of course, if you just joined in, the news coming in that Sri Lanka at the toss has won the toss, and they have decided to put India into bat first. Obviously thinking that we will see how many runs we will have to defend, we will have to chase down, and probably hope that their depleted bowling unit tries to restrict the famed Indian batting lineup as much as they can. But yes, this is quite the contest because it has so much of relevance, so much of significance. You have an Indian side that is coming back to a very historic venue. You have so many young players in that Indian side who have played in this venue, have grown up in this venue. You know, if there's a bunch of Mumbaikars in that Indian dressing room who've played a lot of their cricket in various stadiums right here in India, in Mumbai, whether it's the Wankhede where this match is taking place. It's an iconic stadium, a capacity of 32,000, and that will be a sea of blue today, undoubtedly. And that'll be a blue supporting one team, though both are in blues, of course. That will be supporting the home team in some sense, the Indian cricket team. But it's also a very significant match because we've got someone like Virat Kohli, who said those famous words back during the 2011 Wankhede final, where he said, "We did it for the master. We did it for Sachin Tendulkar. This victory was for him. We all wanted to win for him." And he is, in some sense, sitting on the cusp of a very historic moment himself, with 48 ODI centuries, a significant number that is a very significant number, which he achieved during this tournament, and came close to equaling the record set by the master himself, Sachin Tendulkar, 49 against New Zealand in Dharamshala. He got out on 95. Everyone was hoping he'd get to that magical figure then. But yes, a huge moment for someone like Virat Kohli also, who's in some sense followed in the footsteps of Sachin Tendulkar as a leading batter for the country in terms of the records, in terms of just the flair that he brings to his batting. So yes, the news is that the Indian team is going to bat first in Wankhede against Sri Lanka. There's just one change for the Sri Lankan side. We'll get to the playing 11 of both the teams in just a bit whenever it is ready for us. But Dushan Hemanta comes in for Dhananjaya De Silva. That's the only change. And of course, India, by the looks of it, is going with the same 11. Why to tinker something that hasn't gone wrong, right? So, which means Ashwin continues to sit out and Mohammad Shami continues to feature in that lineup. We do know that Hardik Pandya, who got injured during the match against Bangladesh in Pune, went back to NCA to get himself to recover, to try and get better and there is some hope of him coming in for that last league game against Netherlands. We still don't know. There isn't any confirmation on that regard, but this is what the news from the center is. And if you look at both the sides also, if you just look at how both the teams are entering into this particular contest, you know that the Indian side is coming in strong of a win, being unbeaten. They're the only side that hasn't lost a single match yet and are sitting pretty, but they're sitting at number 2 at this moment because South Africa, with that very, very intimidating, dominating win over New Zealand, another strong favorite of this tournament, has gone up to the first position just purely on that net run rate. What a fabulous effort that was by South Africa, which means, again, one win here does two things. It certifies India's position in the semi-final slot. We don't know in which position, though. That again depends on quite a few other results that will come. That we will see in the coming days. But yes, they confirm that semi-final position because 14 points. You should see yourself through. There should be no other two ways about it. And what it does, secondly, is it also shuts out the door for someone like Sri Lanka. They will be knocked out of the tournament. What a big moment it'll be for this man, Rohit Sharma, a homeboy again, captain of the Mumbai Indians franchise, playing here in Wankhede. He did come to that pre-match press conference, said a few important things. He said, I'm as good as the last match. He said, everyone calls me a great captain now, but a few more losses and it's going to just come right back to me with everyone saying I didn't do well. So a very grounded, a very, very, someone who knows exactly where he's at. One of the most chill captains the Indian team has seen, considering it isn't a position that is very enviable. It's a high pressure job. It isn't easy being the captain of any subcontinent country, particularly more so India, going by the kind of pressure that you always face. And considering this is that home tournament, it's a home World Cup, so the pressure couldn't be more intense. So he'll be excited to come and play at a venue that is his home. He's done fabulously well at the top 2. Again, another batter who's looking really in tremendous, tremendous form. So when India, of course, comes out to bat, a lot will depend on the kind of start that Rohit Sharma gives. He's already done incredibly well in this tournament so far. Has struck a few good knocks there for India. So he is looking good. And a lot would be expected from him. Of course, his partner, the other end, Shubman Gill, yet to get some runs, yet to get some big runs under his belt. So that's what the team, the Indian playing 11 is at the moment. Rohit Sharma, you know the obvious picks itself. Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill, Virat Kohli. That's your top 3. Shreyas Iyer at 4. KL Rahul really reveling and enjoying that position at number 5. Sort of feels like he's found his own, he's found his feet, he's found his ground finally in that batting lineup, and really contributing even in those small knocks that he's had so far. He's looked good, he's looked solid. Then of course Suryakumar Yadav, he's there as well. Played an unbelievably important knock against England, quite unlike him, to steadily go at a certain pace, and then of course you got to see some of those interesting big hits, those amazing flicks that he's just known for. Ravindra Jadeja, again, he comes in there, followed by that very strong bowling lineup, which we've seen do wonders for the team. The predictable Kuldeep, as well as Jasprit, Bumrah, Siraj, and Mohammad Shami, they will make that bowling unit. And if you look at the Sri Lankan side as well, a lot has their bowling hasn't really delivered. They're going to come out to bowl. They're going to come out to field at this point, and that's probably been the one sore point for them in this entire tournament. They've really not enjoyed a good tournament. It's been a very sordid one for them. But what they've and if you look at that 11, we should talk about a lot of the bowlers there who are your part-timers, right? You've got someone like Angelo, Mathews coming into bowl. You've got the few key bowlers there down the order who are important, like Mahesh Deekshana, Kasun Rajita, Dushmanta Chamira, who was again called in. All that because of a few injuries. You had someone like Dasun Shanaka, a key all-rounder. He would put in a few overs as well. Getting injured there, that was disappointing for Sri Lanka. But this is the man, Mahesh Deekshana. He's the one that they've kind of gone to because he's been economical. He's given you those some breakthroughs as well, but he has kept it tight for the opposition. He's put them down a bit there in check. So a key component that when Sri Lanka comes out to bowl right now. But really, how much can this young, inexperienced, barring Angelo Mathews, who's not played a one-day in a very long time, came in here because of the injuries, because of Sri Lanka being in a bit of a trouble, how much of that is going to really impact this strong Indian lineup that's looking good? I think that's the big question there. If you look at this matchup, I think it's going to be very difficult for this young Sri Lankan bowling lineup to really contain a powerful, a very, very strong, in-form Indian batting lineup. And on Monday, we also got to know that the Champions Trophy will only see the top 8 teams here, in top 7, technically, including Pakistan, to feature in the Champions Trophy in 2025, which really puts a lot of these teams in trouble. So they will want to try and just make some of it, to get some wins under the belt, ending up playing spoil sport as well in some cases with some teams. So that's what it is veering towards. But the one bright spark, and you saw a bit of that just a while back, and we'll come to it right now. The one bright spark for Sri Lanka, as far as their batting is concerned, which will come later, is Sadira Samaravikrama. I think he's been instrumental in the way that they have chased or performed or put up totals. In fact, if you look at his performance in the World Cup, quite a commendable, and he's their top run scorer as well. 331 runs there, highest being 108. He scored a century, averages 82. A lot depends on how he will construct that response to India's total. But again, he will need some support from the other end. That is really absent. And to think that this is a side that has boasted of such amazing batting talents like Kumara Sangakkara, Mahela Jayawardene, Arjuna Ranatunga, Aravinda De Silva, Jayasuriya. I mean, the list is endless. And these men are somewhat struggling in the shadows of the brilliance that their predecessors sort of have left behind. So yes, I think a lot really riding on this contest. It seems a bit of a skewed or an off contest, a very one-sided affair. A win here seals the position for India in the semi-final. So that's the latest then here. Just to wrap it up for you. India winning, Sri Lanka, beg your pardon, winning the toss and opting to field first in Wankhede today. I think that's what is the latest here. We'll, of course, keep getting you some more analysis, some more insights as the days go on, depending on what we bring to you. And, of course, our coverage here, our exclusive coverage here of the Cup of Dreams will continue here on Firstpost. So thanks for joining in for now. Stay tuned for more.